welcome to another episode of Rad Rides. This is Ehsan Shirazi. I have a special one for you today. I am driving my brand new 2023 Toyota 4Runner TRD Pro in Solar Octane that was recently delivered to my house. If you're new to this channel, this color, the Solar Octane, was also on my previous vehicle, which was a 2022 Toyota Tundra TRD Pro in Solar Octane. It's a special color and I love the color orange. I've also have a Code Orange 2022 Ford F-150 Raptor and my very favorite car, which is my 1997 Mercedes-Benz C36 AMG, and that one has an Inferno, which is another special orange color that was offered by Toyota several years ago. Now this 2023 Toyota 4Runner TRD Pro is not my first one. I've had numerous Toyota 4Runner TRD Pro. Today's episode is going to be a little bit different since in my very first video for this channel I extensively covered the 2022 Toyota 4Runner TRD Pro, and this car is essentially the same thing except few changes on this year versus the last year. So I'm going to be highlighting the main things that makes this Toyota 4Runner special, and I hope by the end of this episode you can make your decision to see if one of these Toyota 4Runner TRD Pros is going to be an ideal vehicle for you in your everyday commute, or over the weekend you want to take it for some off-roading. Whatever your purpose or your expectation out of this vehicle, I hope I can answer all those questions for you, and I hope you enjoy this episode. Thank you guys. Alright guys, let's tell you a little bit more about this 2023 Toyota 4Runner TRD Pro and what makes it special. Obviously, as you notice, it has a very bright and orange metallic color. It's called Solar Octane. It's extra $425 option. And for 2023, Toyota has also added 3 other things to this 4Runner TRD Pro. First of all, they've added the heated steering wheel, first time in the 13-year cycle of making this car. Also, this car has, for the first time ever, turn signals in the outside mirrors, in the side mirrors, and also it has puddle lamps. So when you approach the car at nighttime, you got these puddle lamps that turn on, and it gives you some visibility. Besides those 3 additions, everything else has pretty much been the same on this 2023 Toyota 4Runner TRD Pro as it has been on the previous year's Toyota. And a lot of people like to criticize Toyota because they've been making the same car on the same chassis for the 13th year. Yes, this body style started in 2010, but it's been working for Toyota. And Toyota's basic concept of reliability is definitely translated into this car. These cars are known for being able to go for like 500,000-600,000 miles without having any problems on their engine and transmission. This same engine has been running in Toyota since 2002, so it's a very well-known 6-cylinder 4-liter engine. What's really interesting about this Toyota 4Runner and the whole 5th generation of Toyota 4Runner is that Toyota has been selling more Toyota 4Runners in the past about 2 or 3 years than when they first started selling this car. So besides this Toyota 4Runner and Jeep and Ford Bronco, you don't have any other type of SUV that is body on frame and is a true 4x4 and fun, boxy looking SUV. Whereas a lot of the newer SUVs are more aerodynamic and they kind of all look similar. But this car, along with the other 2 that I mentioned, they look definitely more distinct. 2023 is going to be the last year that Toyota will make this 5th generation Toyota 4Runner. So the next year, 2024, towards the end of it, we're going to see a whole new body style of Toyota 4Runner, and I have a feeling that it's going to have the same engine that you see in the Sequoia and Tundra, but a little slightly detuned and less powerful that you're going to be seeing in this car. All right guys, let's move on and talk about the engine of this car. There's absolutely nothing new about this engine. This same old engine and transmission has been used in this Toyota 4Runner in this 5th generation since 2010, and Toyota has actually been using the same engine since 2002. So this is a 21-year-old engine, and I can't wait for the new generation of 4Runner to come out, and they're going to probably have that 3.5-liter V6 twin turbo, the new engine that you see in the Tundra and Sequoia. This engine makes about 273 horsepower and 270 pound-feet of torque. It's made it into an old school 5-speed automatic transmission. Yes, it's not an 8-speed or 10-speed like a lot of the competitors have, but it's a 5-speed automatic transmission, and it actually does a 0-60 at a very, very slow rate of 7.3 seconds. And you pay the price as far as the fuel economy. You get about 16 in the city and 19 in the highway, but realistically, I haven't averaged more than about 16 combined. And this car weighs about 4,780 pounds, and it can tow up to 5,000 pounds. All right, let's move on and talk about the wheels and brakes on this 4Runner TRD Pro. It's the same design as last year's 4Runner TRD Pro. Toyota changed the wheel pattern on these TRD Pros a little bit versus what you saw from 2015 all the way to 2021. The size of the tires are the same thing and the same brand of tires. They're Nitto, Terra Grappler, all trains, and they're biased 265 70/17. Also, the brake size on this 4Runner TRD Pro is 12.4 inch in caliper size in the front and in the rear. The fronts have 4 piston calipers, the rears have single piston calipers. All right, moving on and talking about the exterior design of this car, and it's essentially the same car that Toyota has been making since 2015 when the first year of the TRD Pro lineup was introduced for the most off-road enthusiasts to have a car straight from the factory with a lot of off-road goodies. But I've always really liked this hood scoop on these 4Runner TRD Pros. Although it's non-functional, I wish Toyota had put some openings in it to actually cool down the engine. And flanked by both sides of this hood scoop, you got this nice line that goes across the hood, and then you have this nice kind of symmetric line that comes down here, and then you come to this one of the most distinctive features of this car, which is this heritage grille with the word Toyota proudly presenting right in the middle. And I love how you have the elements of gray, black against the orange, so you got a really, really nice distinctive features of this car. It sets it apart. Then you got this front mounted camera. Then you also have this TSS Toyota safety sense sensor that Toyota put in this car. Now this car is so old that Toyota had to kind of go with some of these regulations. Instead of it kind of neatly putting it somewhere inside of the grille, Toyota just made it into this little rectangular plate, and they just slapped it on this grille. I really love this bottom portion of this front bumper that is again black. Moving on to talking about the headlights and fog lights. For many years Toyota was putting all halogen headlights and fog lights in these cars. That tells you how old this Toyota 4Runner chassis is. But for some years after that, they started putting halogen headlights and LED fog lights, and finally, I believe since last year or 2021, they made both fog lights and headlights LED, which is nice. Not a big fan of this fake vent. I wish they put actually inserts in it so actually can cool down the braking system on this car. Moving on to the side, I've always liked the boxy yet semi-flared fenders in the front and rear of this 4Runner. Body saw the 5th generation, and although it's old, Toyota has been making it for many years, but for some reason it still has a soft spot, at least in my heart. That's why I bought many of these 4Runners TRD Pros in several different years. Obviously, we talked about the wheels. These are really nice wheels with the blacked out wheels with the red center cap with the TRD stamped inside of it. The mirrors, what I told you earlier, that this year Toyota has these puddle lamps. When you approach the car, it kind of lights up. Then they also put, for the first time, they put the turn signals also into the side view mirrors. Moving on the side, I've always liked how the profile of this car is, the windows, front and rear windows, and especially I've always liked how you got black against the color of the car. There's no chrome to be seen here, so that's one of the things that I've always loved about this car. And here's one of the most unique features of this car. This is the TRD Pro roof rack. Some people don't like these. I actually think it makes the car look pretty cool, and it is functional. I mean, you can put different things on there and strap them down. Coming onto the rear, I love the word TRD Pro again in black, and this window, which is a signature feature of many of the 4Runners, always kind of like a trapezoidal. Coming to the back of this car, these are the old school Altezza type, as named after Toyota Altezza or Lexus IS300, the first generation taillights. They're halogen, they're not modern, but this type of car has its own type of customers, and they love this car for the way it is. Coming to the back of the car, we come to one of the most distinctive features of this 4Runner. It's the rear glass. The rear glass, with press of a button, it actually comes down all the way and comes up. Take a look. Also, I love the fact that Toyota managed to hide the wiper blade. A lot of cars, they actually put them right in the middle, and I've never liked that. And then you come to the back of the car, you got this big word saying 4Runner. And what's really nice about this right here is that you can press this button down, and then it goes, this window goes down and also goes up. So that's pretty nice and nifty. So you see that right there, goes up, goes down, and then goes up. So that's pretty cool. Then obviously you have the TRD Pro on the bottom, and then this is the tow hitch, and the connector is actually right here, as you see right there. And coming to the back of the passenger rear side, you have this Toyota catback exhaust with the word TRD stamped on top of it, and it does make a nice sound. Take a listen. All right guys, moving on and talking about the interior of this 2023 Toyota 4Runner TRD Pro. As I mentioned, I've already covered a similar Toyota 4Runner TRD Pro. It was a 2022 model that I had in Lime Rush. So a lot of the features of this car is similar as that 4Runner. So if you want to see a full review of the interior, please click on the link on the top right of the screen, and you can see a little bit more about the full review of the interior of this car. But I'm going to mention a couple of things for you guys, mainly that Toyota, since 2020, they changed the 6-inch display infotainment into an 8-inch. Now it's touchscreen. It's kind of intuitive, but it's an older type of infotainment screen, so nothing compared to the new Tundra and Sequoia. So it's an older system, it needs to be updated, and Toyota definitely has a replacement for it that will come. I really like the fact that Toyota still uses these big old knobs on this car for climate control. I mean, these are probably the biggest knobs that you see. It is a dual climate control. You got a 12-volt plug-in here, you got a regular USB charger here. You got some space if you want to put your cell phone, or over here as well. Coming to the center console, you got your TRD shift knob. You actually have a traditional 4x4 gear as well. You got the H2. The car usually starts on H2, which is the 2-wheel drive on the rear. Then you got your H4 that you can switch into anytime if you're 60 miles and under. And then for really serious off-roaders, you have the L4. For people that like to off-road, these are the controls for hill descent and crawl control, locking differential, A-track. You got the heated seat adjustment for driver and passenger, and also you got the one touch. When you press down, the rear window goes down, and then when you press it up, pull it up, the rear window also comes up. Toyota also has done something nifty. If you want, you can pull up the cup holders and you got a little bit more room here, both here and also here. And it always even says remove for larger cups. So that's pretty nice and well thought up on Toyota's part. Then got this area that you can put your stuff in. You have a little 12-volt charger here. Then you got this area that Toyota has put tissues, that you can put actually some tissues in here. That's pretty nice. Then right here, there's a picture of a pen. You can actually put a pen in here. Moving on to the seats, I really like the TRD being stitched into the headrest for driver and passenger. And these are Softex, so they're not true leather, but they're very durable, very nice. And as I mentioned, one of the biggest changes from 2022 to 2023 Toyota 4Runner is the heated steering wheel right here, that you press this button and it does heat. But what's interesting, it only heats the sides of the steering wheel. It doesn't heat the top or the bottom, but that's okay. It's better than nothing. Over here, you'll have your 360 camera view. It gives you some options. It's nothing as advanced as a lot of the other cars, but it does have interesting, it's better than what Toyota had before. As far as the rear passenger, you can definitely put 2 adults in the back comfortably. You got nice leg room, as you see. Headroom is also good too. I'm almost 5'10", and I do have enough headroom. So if you look at the headliner, it comes up nice and straight, then it goes up. It gives you about like a couple of inches for rear passengers headroom. So that's nice feature by Toyota. You have some controls for your climate control. It's not digital or anything like that. And you got 2 USB outlets as well. You can put a couple of cup holders here too, and same thing, you can take them out if it's a bigger cup for both of these guys. As far as the back of the car, you have about a good 47-48 cubic inches of space. I like the fact that you have a nice JBL subwoofer here. This car comes with standard JBL sound system. Then you have a household outlet right here and also a 12-volt. All right, this is how you basically fold the seats. You pull on this level right here, then you press on this button and the seat comes down. Then you also can press this and it goes nice and tucks right here. So that's good. That gives you a nice amount of room. I'm going to give you a little angle from the other side. You have a lot of room once both the seats are folded down. All right, driving this Toyota 4Runner TRD Pro, I like few factors about it, being that it is a well-built car. It's a solid car. It's a very, very safe car. It's a little bit heavier, but I also feel secure when I drive this car. And I know for a fact that this engine and transmission on this car is tried and true. I've seen plenty of people that they put about 300,000-400,000 miles on this 5th generation or other previous generations of Toyota 4Runner that use the same engine. Remember, this engine, this 4.0 liter V6, has been used by Toyota since 2002. So 21 years they've been using it. I know they're gonna exit out. This is the last year probably that you're gonna be seeing it in this car, and they're gonna bring their new 3.5 liter twin turbo that is sitting on the new Tundra and then the new Sequoia. But this engine, it's not fuel efficient. There's a lot of, it has a lag to it. The transmission is old. It's the 5-speed automatic transmission in the age of that you have 8-speed, 9-speed, or 10-speed transmissions. But it works for Toyota, and it has a lot of people like this transmission and engine, so they keep selling it. And the car, as we mentioned previously, keeps selling well because a lot of people that are buying this car don't like these new SUVs that they all kind of look similar. There's nothing distinctive about the new SUVs. They don't have the character, but this Toyota 4Runner has its own character, and a lot of people like it. All right, we're going to give this car a little bit of gas to catch up with the traffic. When you floor it all the way, it can definitely get up to speed, but it does struggle. The 5-speed automatic transmission definitely has some lag to it. So the new 10-speed transmission that the Tundra or Sequoia are using, that is definitely going to be something that this Toyota 4Runner, the next generation, the 6th generation, is going to find very, very useful, and it's going to be good for the car. The cornering is not the greatest. This is not a sports or high performance SUV. This is just solid SUV that is meant for off-roading to the extreme. This is Toyota's version of Jeep Wrangler or Ford Bronco. I also really like this droney exhaust sound that you hear. It's different. It's definitely different. It's not as exhilarating as the Tundra or the Raptor. Driving a long distance, it does have some rattling noise. It seems like it was kind of like an afterthought that Toyota came up with it. But I just love driving this car. You're sitting high up the ground, it's raised, and it's a cool SUV. You got this nice little hood scoop that you can see in front of you, so it gives you a nice, good feeling. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching this episode of Rad Rides covering this 2023 Toyota 4Runner TRD Pro. I hope I answered some of your questions and doubts whether to buy this nice, dependable, boxy, old school, not so fuel efficient SUV, but yet cool to drive. Make sure to check out our future episodes covering different vehicles that have significance in automotive history. Some of them are going to be my own cars, some of them is going to be friends and family that I get a chance to drive and share the experience with you. And as always, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. That's one of the ways that gets our channel growing. And stay tuned for the next video that we're going to be covering for you. Thank you.